Alright guys, tonight I'm going to go ahead and mark my truss elevation. So how I'm going to do this, got a laser set up right here, and as you can see that's shining pretty level on my string line here, but more importantly over here it's right at the top of my grade board, which is what I set as the top of the concrete. So I'm going to transfer that mark over to that post, and then I'll be able to take a measurement from that post up to the number that I've pulled from the drawing that shows us the distance between the top of the grade board and where the truss sits. And I'm going to put a line there, and then I'm going to put my laser on a ladder out in the middle and transfer that exact same line to the top of every single post. And that way I can jump up here and notch these posts to a nice level laser line. All right, so 115 and 7/8 is the magic number. So you can see here, I'm up on the ladder. Way down there, I put a screw in at the level of the top of the concrete. And then I took that number from the drawing, so we've measured up from that level to 115 and 7/8. And now I'm going to put my laser on the ladder in the middle of the building and get it to line up with this mark, and then transfer that mark to all the other posts in the entire project. So now I've got my ladder set up, my laser's on top on a couple of pieces of wood to get it up to the right height, that you can see that shining a nice line on every post. And that line is matching our line that we put up there. So we will climb the ladder at every line, put us a nice black line there, even with our laser line, and that is where we will skill saw a single ply off of that post, and that becomes your truss bearing surface. So all your trusses sit nice and level all the way around. Easiest way I know of to do it. So, well, it's Friday, December 22nd. It's almost Christmas time. We've got quite a few family Christmases to go to here over the next 3 or 4 days, but we're gonna work in between while we can. The plan this morning is pretty simple. We're just gonna take our ladder around, jump up here. That's where we got to notch all these posts for our truss bearing surface. So we got a lot of posts to notch. So let's see if we can get those knocked out this morning. All right. So here's our line that we shot with the laser. We'll skill saw that, split the line. A notch higher here. See that line? There we go. We left half the line. Got our skill saw set 1.5 inches deep, so we're only cutting this first ply. I'll run down here and grab my pry bar with a hammer. I usually leave about the top 2 foot of these posts with no nails and definitely no screws, or no glue, I'm sorry. And so they usually do have a nail or 2, but at least they're not glued. We'll get that started. There's 1 nail right here holding this on. Go ahead and pull that off. And then if there's any nails sticking through here like this, I'll go ahead and just drive that back out. Then when I put my truss in here, I can fire that nail right back in or pull it out, either one. This is nice and clean. We'll come back in a few minutes, cut these off to the top angle that the truss is going to sit. Do that to all your posts and you're good to go. So I made a little template here from the drawing. So this is my post right here. As it comes up through, there's 1.5 inches here, and that's where your 2x12 truss carrier sits, and then your post comes through, and then that shows me where the top of my truss will be. So I'm going to use that template to mark my posts and go ahead and pre-cut those, and I'll cut them a little bit under because there's no need to even be close. We'll probably cut them 1/4 inch under. That keeps them out of the way and still gives me plenty of nailing surface. So here you can see, you can actually kind of see how nice, there's our notch. See that appearing on every post all the way down, nice and level. That's what we were looking for. So we're gonna take our template, snap her right in here. That's where our truss is gonna sit. And that shows you the 512 that's gonna be there. Take our handy dandy Sharpie here and give us a line. So there you go. I will saw just under that to make sure we have some clearance. Do that to all these. So when we drive in with the tractor from this direction, we don't have so much post to come over with the truss. We'll just have this little stub post here, come over that, sit it in there, nail it in. We'll do the rest of them. What's up, Dad?
Hey.
Thanks for the help. Dad's always out here busting his butt. Even if I don't ask, he's here. So some of you will probably frown about using a chainsaw on my pole barn here, but this 2-ply here, that's 3 inches thick. None of our skill saws will reach it. And that particular cut has really no importance. It's just getting the rest of that post out of the way so that the truss clears it. So we probably got a 1/2 inch tolerance on that cut. So grabbed a chainsaw, ran around, buzzed all those off with the line I scribed. Used the chainsaw width, which was about 1/4. I went 1/4 below the line, so we shouldn't have any interference with our trusses. And that only took about 20 minutes to run around all those with a chainsaw, even after I hit a nail on the second post and trashed my chain. So good to go. All right, what's up? Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve here. Yesterday, Dad and I got all the truss carriers hung for this front of the house, and this morning I've been going around and filling in the fasteners here. These are put up with these 4-inch 5/16 structural screws here. The truss carriers, a lot of the pole barns I see online have trusses 8 foot on center and purlins on edge. Mine has trusses on 4 foot centers, so the purlins can be flat. So every other truss bears directly on a notched post, but in between I'll have to come in here and put a stub post, and so those truss carriers there will transfer the load over to each post. So those are pretty important, but those screws are massive and we've got plenty of them. So it's a dual 2x12 truss carrier, and hopefully today we can get that side put up. That's the plan. Tractor's coming in handy big time to set these truss carriers. They are heavy. It's not fun climbing up with a 24-foot 2x12. So for the outside, we C-clamp those to the end of the forks so we can tilt the forks up and get over the post. Then we'll lower it back down and then use that as a nice little shelf to hold that board while I get things unclamped, and then turn it up on edge, and we can use that to do some fine adjustments for height to help screw these in position. So tractor is a huge help. So I'm up here screwing up header boards. Little trick here. If you see this header board right here, we're probably an 1/8 inch high here versus our notch. So what I'm gonna do is put my screw in. I'll just angle that down a little bit. This, and now you'll watch that pull down. Now we're nice and level. Perfect. So let your screws do the work for you to keep these nice and level. We're working to a laser line here, which is much better than the board is, so let it pull it down.